Representative Nolan.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Good afternoon. You talked about two different areas that you're pushing the funding towards. It seemed like existing housing stock and renovations and new projects. Maybe could you explain how you will determine how much goes to either?
Thank you, Rep. Nolan, through you, Madam Chair. This is a competitive program. That is, we actually publish a detailed application with specific rating and ranking criteria. So those decisions are made strictly through that competitive process. As it happens, this particular year, we only received 5 applications. Even at the highest estimate, they're worth about $11 million in change, and we have about $13 million available from this year's allocation alone. Assuming those projects get all their ducks in a row, submit all the necessary paperwork, do all the necessary environmental review, those projects will all get funded. But in terms of either in the past or possibly in the future, the decisions are strictly competitively based. Our rating and ranking criteria are published on an annual basis, and we seek comment to make adjustments to those rating and ranking criteria to make sure that we aren't leaving anybody behind. In terms of the focus for this particular year, we are focusing again on public housing, what we call public housing preservation or existing affordable housing preservation. It's not limited to public housing, but that is the primary focus, as well as we've seen an increasing ask for infrastructure in our smaller communities to allow them to build new affordable housing. I want to be clear, CDBG funding cannot be used for new housing construction. So that's a violation of the federal regulation, but it can be used to support new construction. So part of what we wanted to do with CDBG in particular for our small towns is to put some of those resources available to our smaller towns to make those infrastructure improvements to help them create new affordable housing opportunities.
Okay, and you said two things that lead me to just ask about those things that you said.
Anthony, can you use your outside voice, please?
My outside voice.
Well, your police officer voice then, if that's
all right. All right. I sure will try, Madam Chair.
Thank you.
All right. So actually, are there plans to support ADA compliance with some of the areas that are going to be looked at? And also, you talked about only 5. That seems very low. So I'm just wondering if you know why it's only 5 and what kind of marketing are we doing to make sure that it gets out there enough, because only 5 is very little.
Happy to talk about Representative Nolan again through you, Madam Chair. Thank you for the question. Yes, the public housing modernization that we carry out is required to produce ADA modifications, and all of our projects must meet what is called Section 504, which is the federal requirements around ADA. So a large amount of the funds that flow through our public housing modernization activities or our affordable housing preservation activities go to ADA improvements. The second half of your question I lost. I'm sorry.
It was in regards to oh God, I just forgot to.
Why only 5 people?
Oh, why only 5 applications? Thank you, yeah. Senator Marks. I appreciate the reminder. We do a great deal of interaction with our municipalities. We do direct outreach to all, I want to say it's about 138 eligible municipalities. It may actually be larger than that. 129, excuse me. Thank you, Miguel. We do direct outreach to all of them. I think we've seen the numbers come down in terms of applications because we have stressed with the municipalities, we want their applications ready to fund. So they're working behind the scenes, if you will, to get their projects ready. So that when they apply, as I indicated in my testimony, after we get our federal contract and we award, we want them to be under construction very shortly thereafter.
So you're talking about shovel ready?
I don't like to use that term. I like to say ready to proceed or ready to start construction. Yes, sir.
Okay.
You've already gone past it by 3,
come back
but
to
I can come back to you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'll wait my turn again.
Representative Walker.
Oh,
You are muted. Oops. There you
Yeah,
go.
okay. Sorry, it's hard. I've only got one hand, so and it's not the right hand. But anyhow, yes, I kind of want to continue with what Representative Nolan was talking about. You said that you only had 5 projects, and that's because they have to be project ready, and and it's a large task. Understanding that these are small towns that we are working with, the small towns don't have the staffing that the big cities have in order to prepare these types of grants. So what type of support does your agency provide them? Can they call you and say, okay, we have an idea about a project that we want to do, but we need help in preparing the documentation and the actual application. Can you help us? Do you provide that?
Thank you for the question. The short answer is yes, we provide direct technical assistance to our potential grantee towns. We also have a list of certified consultants that we refer them to on a regular basis, and those consultants will generally work with them to prepare their application and get paid after they are awarded. In addition, we get about 1%. About 1% per year of our total allocation can be used for technical assistance to our grantees, and we do regular workshops to help them do that. We can't obviously help them fill out the application because it is a competitive process, but we do provide a great deal of training, opportunity, and again, access to consultants to help them get those applications put in place.
I just want to point out that these grants are not big, and consultants are expensive, and what you're doing is you're minimizing or reducing the amount of money that actually is going into the housing for all the upfront costs. So that part I don't think is a great idea, but I also think that we have to be a lot more supportive of our towns, especially our small towns, so that they can have access to the funds as much as everybody else. So thank you for that, but I hope we can come up with a better way of supporting our towns. Thank you.